I was looking at this wildgrass, which is a texture you can get in the shape library. And I was wondering what it would do as a fur. Let's turn off layer 1, we're on layer 2. We're going to start up a new brush. And shape, edit, import, source library. Then all the way down at the bottom, you can see the wildgrass. It's the second from the last one. And then we'll click Done. The rotation needs to go to follow stroke. And for rendering, I decided to try light glaze. Under color dynamics, we're going to turn lightness and darkness on. We'll put them both at 17%. That's usually a nice variation. For Apple Pencil, we're going to turn the opacity all the way off. Under Properties, we're going to turn off Orient to Screen, and we'll do a maximum size of 400. And we'll give that a done. And then we'll see what this looks like. Well, it makes a nice grass. I'm not sure that it makes a nice fur. Let's choose a brown color. Yeah, see, it's just not very fur-like. I mean, it's a little fur-like, but not very fur-like. So what we're going to do is we are going to use this as an inspiration. So the first thing we want to do is go out to the gallery. And then we're going to click on the plus sign and we're going to start a new square canvas. We're going to turn the cursor color to white, the background color to black, and let's go into inking. We'll use the technical pen, and I'm just going to start making grass-like structures here. Going very loose and not really worrying about how things look. But I want this to be a brush that'll work going left, right, or right, left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on the drawing guide, and I'm going to turn on drawing assist on this. We're going to go to the eraser, which is set to the hard brush. Make it kind of big. And I'm just going to do this until I can't see any of the bottoms. Then let's take this, center it, and move it up. I'm going to duplicate it, flip it vertical, and bring it down until it snaps to. And it still has this open line in the middle whenever it snaps to. So I'm just going to tap it up a little bit until all those meet. And that looks kind of wild and freaky. We'll merge this down, copy it, let's create a new layer, and we'll go to this same brush that we had here, And we're going to change the shape. Instead of this wildgrass, we'll do Edit, Import, Paste, and we now have our grass picture here, or grass-like picture. And that doesn't look too bad. That's with the default of the 17 on the stroke path. Let's see, fur brush 1 goes like this or like this. Fur brush 2 does that. Fur brush 3 does that. And the original fur brush does that. This untitled brush, I think, has real potential. Whether you go left or right, it looks the same. So I'm going to call this Spikey brush. About this brush, let's call it Spike. Done. Create a reset point. And done. And then let's duplicate it. Let's go into these color dynamics. Let's add a secondary color to it. And let's make the secondary color brown, primary color white. Let's see what happens. I think that looks great. We'll make our dumpling. I'm going to duplicate it, flip it horizontal. Put them together like that and merge them down. And when I center this, I should now be able to go to the drawing guide, edit drawing guide. Let's go to symmetry. We'll turn this to a color I can see. We'll go down, turn on assisted drawing. Oh, yeah, see, that looks nice. I want it to be darker, though. So I'm going to take my primary color and knock it down. Oh, yeah. And if we reduce the size of this, there we go. Yeah, I definitely like this. This is a good brush. Let's put this back up here, make that bigger again. And that's not showing because it's on the layer below. Let's undo that. Go back up to layer 2. Yeah, see, I like that. And let's see, we will go back into the inking. We're going to use this technical pen. Let's go up a layer. And let's go for a light blue color. And I'm going to create a pair of eyes. Okay, let's edit that. Make it into a nice big ellipse. Maybe spin it around a little bit there. Yeah, that looks nice. Let's move it down a bit. And I'm going to duplicate that. And let's move that over here to this side. And flip it. And we'll go up a layer. Let's give it a nice big eye here. Put that on the inside there and fill it. Duplicate that. We'll move it over here. There we go. Yeah, now it looks like he's looking up. And let's go with this gray color and set this to screen. I'll do that. And let's duplicate it. Put it over here. There we go. And then we'll go up. Let's go back to our new Spike 1 brush there. Yeah, we'll leave it on the gray. And we'll create a nice little muzzle here. Maybe make it a little bit bigger. Okay. And then we'll go with the pink because I think pink is cute. And turn on the drawing assist for that one. Yep, you can definitely make a good teddy bear with that. So, that wasn't a bad one. Let's go over it real quick. What I did before I created this cute little guy here is I made a bunch of lines that went up and down, just kind of in clumps. I erased the bottom, flipped it, and made mirror image. And then I moved that into a brush. Stroke path I left at 17%, that's the default. I pasted that into the shape. For rendering, instead of heavy glaze, which would give us this, oh no, that's not good. Let's change this primary color back to white. This is the heavy glaze, and this is the light glaze, which I think the light glaze has just a little bit more texture to it than the heavy glaze did. Yeah. So we're choosing the light glaze on this one. Under color dynamics, I've given it lightness and darkness. I've turned off the Apple Pencil. Under properties, I've turned off the orient to screen, and I've changed maximum size to 1400. I just reset it to make sure that I kept everything. Oh yes, under shape, rotation, follows stroke. We don't want to forget that, do we? Light glaze, color dynamics, lightness and darkness. No Apple Pencil, 400%. So that's a very quick brush to make. I kind of like it. Spike 1 is the exact same brush, but we've added a secondary color. So here is Spike, left and right. And here is Spike 1, left. Let's increase the size there. Left and right. It doesn't matter whether you go left or right, they look the same. I like this. It comes out very nicely. You could make cute bunny rabbits. This would be good for maybe a dog portrait. We'll have to ask our resident dog portrait expert about that. There you go. We now have two new brushes, Spike and Spike 1. I'm going to duplicate Spike 1. We'll call it Spike 2. Because I didn't duplicate Spike, I have to rename this. Let's increase the stroke path. Let's put it to 30. Oh no, I think that's too choppy. Let's reduce it to 20. Is that too choppy? No, that's okay. Spike 1 is just closer together. Okay. So yeah, there's a variation you can do on it there. You can change your spacing to 20% and get a slightly more texturized look to your fur. And there we go, our new brush. Okay, playing with this a little bit. If you take Spike 2 and you tell it to flip X, that's flipping along the X-axis left to right here, then you can actually create a fourth brush. This is just the Spike 2, and here's the Spike 2-1, and it's just as fluffy, but it's a little bit thicker appearing. So that's one way that you can make an even thicker coat of fur for your furry animals. All right, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and you have a wonderful day.